Welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Choosing Beggar Reddit video. In our first story, is this really a choosing beggar? Or have I just been cheap? Let's jump right in. Longtime lurker, first time poster here. I have to excuse myself, but English is not my first language, so please forgive any mistakes. As a small introduction, we live in Switzerland, where tipping is not something you usually do, and all service charges and costs are usually agreed upon beforehand. The story below is one where I have mixed feelings and am looking for opinions here, as we genuinely had good intentions but somehow ended up badly. The cast is me, my wife, a choosing beggar, and a random stranger. My wife bought second-hand garden chairs for about $40 from a local website and decided to go and fetch them one day from the seller. She paid for the chairs, brought them to the car, and then figured out they were too big to be loaded into our small Volvo. She was standing on the sidewalk with the chairs that would not fit in the car when a small bus, an airport shuttle transport, stopped in front of her. This was driven by a random stranger who lived nearby. My wife approached him and asked if he could please deliver those chairs to our home, about 15 kilometers away, since she unfortunately could not fit them into our car, and of course, offered to pay him for the inconvenience. Random stranger said it was not a problem. He could do it and she totally did not have to pay. A cup of coffee and a piece of cake would be enough, as they drive past our house quite regularly anyway. We were not in a hurry to get the chairs, therefore she told him to just drop by whenever they were around. Random stranger in the evening communicates to my wife that he gave the chairs to Choosing Beggar, who lived closer to us and would drive past our house the next day. My wife talked to Choosing Beggar on the phone the evening before he was dropping the chairs off and also asked him if he would want some sort of compensation. Choosing Beggar said no, absolutely not. Given that it is clear that they were doing us a big favor and kept refusing any sort of payment, my wife got up early and went to the local bakery and bought an ice pie, homemade jam, and some regional bread with the intention to gift this to Choosing Beggar as a thank you. My wife then left for things she had to do, and I stayed home waiting for Choosing Beggar to make the delivery. When Choosing Beggar arrived at the door and brought the chairs, we had a very short exchange of more or less 30 seconds that went something like this. "Here, I delivered the chairs that your wife asked for." "Oh, thanks. Wait, I've got a cake and some stuff for you." "I can't do anything with a cake. You know, some people give something and some people give nothing. This is just so insulting." And he stormed off. I was genuinely confused. In the afternoon, Choosing Beggar called my wife and told her how insolent I had been and that he felt so insulted. He is not rich and a small tip would have been appreciated, given that he had done us a favor. My wife apologized and explained to him that we did not want to do him any harm or insult him in any way, and given that both Choosing Beggar and Random Stranger refused any sort of payment in cash, she thought that giving him something nice would have been an appreciated gesture. Then she asked him again that of course we would pay for his services, just to provide us bank details or an address where we can send the money, and we would happily oblige. She asked at least once, "How can we make it up to you?" He kept going on how this is not necessary, he does not want the money, but a tip would have been nice, and how he will never do anything nice for anyone again, and that he hates people like us. I've been thinking about this for the past 2 days, and on one hand, I can understand that you would not do something like that for free, but then again, you would not refuse any sort of payment, and we had really asked him multiple times. I can also imagine that there might have been diverging expectations, but then why not accept some money afterwards? On top of that, we had actually bought $40 worth of high-quality bakery products, and we thought it was a nice gesture, but he refused. At this stage, I'm really thinking that Choosing Beggar is just a person who actually wanted to have a reason to be angry at people. Story number 2. Buy discounted perishable items, wait a week, what could go wrong? I run my own business. One product we sell are countertop kits for growing oyster or lion's mane mushrooms. We live in a humid area, so provided the buyer follows the instructions, if only, they are pretty foolproof. One day I realize I have some kits that are starting to produce on their own, so they need to be used now, like maybe tomorrow at the latest. So I put them on sale with the instruction that they need to be used immediately. I sell these through a shop in town, and the owner messaged to let me know all the discounted kits were sold. I'm thinking great. Then she tells me that one of them was reserved but not paid for, and that Karen wants to pick it up next week. I remind the shop owner of why they were discounted and that in another 6 days, she might just be buying a bag of mess. The shop owner understood, but she's not the type that is great about saying no to Karens when they're waving money and demands all over the place. I get it. Confrontation isn't for everyone, especially over a simple purchase. By the time Karen finally buys this discounted kit and gets it to her house, it has been over a week since I originally put these on sale. I can only imagine what it looks like. I guess she got an initial crop from it, but it didn't produce more after that. A typical kit would produce 3 or more flushes, so she sends me a message and I didn't respond right away. There's been a lot going on lately in my personal life, settling my mother's estate being the big thing, but I respond to most people within 3 days, if not sooner. I guess I didn't respond to Karen fast enough because since then, anytime I post anything on my business Facebook or Instagram, she makes some comment about her kit. Today's was that it only produced 1 crop and she really wanted to have more to cook on the grill. Every post for 2 weeks now. At first, I just deleted her comments as soon as I saw them, but some folks don't understand subtle hints, so now she's just blocked. I also told the shop owner to refund her money and that I would reimburse her. I'd rather give up the whopping $15 than be harassed on a daily basis. It takes a special kind of person to call dibs on a discounted perishable item, not to pay or pick it up for a week, then complain about it. Story number 3, literally a choosing beggar. This happened when I was at a gas station 2 days ago in Montreal. I was there with my fiancée for a trip. We were living in the top story of a hotel, and getting downstairs for food and drinks was a hassle, so we just bought loads of bottled water and brought it up in one go. We had to do a restock since we were staying in Montreal for almost a week. We went to the nearest store and I went inside just to get water. Now, we aren't Bill Gates rich, but with my job and salary, we could afford the fancier waters such as the Smart Water and Fiji water and not really worry about it. My fiancée stayed in the car and just waited for me. I came out with a whole case of Esca water and had a grocery bag full of the fancier bottled water. I was walking towards the trunk of my car and there was this disheveled looking man, choosing beggar, in his 20s that approached me and tried to speak French. I told him I didn't speak French and I continued towards my car. The choosing beggar caught up to me and said, "I'm a college student, I need your help." He gestured towards the store. "Sure, what do you need?" "I need money so I can go buy some water." Now keep in mind during COVID, contactless payments were usually preferred, so I naturally didn't have any cash with me. Since choosing beggar needed water, I just put everything in my trunk and then took out 2 bottles of Esca and gave it to him. "Do you have anything better?" "Excuse me?" "I like Voss." "I don't have any Voss." "What else do you have?" "I'm sorry, I don't understand what you mean." "You drive a Mercedes and you can't afford to give me better water?" "How does my vehicle dictate what I need to give you?" "I don't care. Give me some money so I can go inside to buy what I want." At this point, I had lost my patience but did not want to cause any trouble. "Man, I'm sorry, I don't have any cash with me. I paid with my debit card." "Come with me then." "Let me just get my wallet." I closed my trunk, went to my car, and drove off. This is John from Slash Bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to be the first to know when the next one drops, then subscribe and hit that notifications bell. I'd love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends. See you in the next one.